Hey, how you doing? Who is here? Mark. How you doing, Mark? Are you there? Okay, we've got Mike online and we've got Mark online. You guys can talk. Are you there? Would you like to talk, Mark? Is everybody here? Can anybody hear me? All right. Well, we're going to get started. I just wanted to start doing this webinar in order to give you some information on what the Performance Therapy Academy is and what it isn't. This is a medically based program for fitness professionals. So medical exercise for massage therapists, for PTs, for DOs, anybody in the hands-on fitness and health world that wants to increase their standing in the community, increase their ability to work with special populations. And that means anybody comes into them with diabetes, cancer, specific injuries, anything that isn't a 100% healthy individual most likely has something going on that makes them into a special populations category, and they can use somebody who's highly trained as a medical exercise professional or a medical massage and so on. And so this class gives you the ability to do that. It gives you more information on how to read labs, how to read x-rays and MRIs, really intuitive intake process and assessment processes. And so that was the purpose for wanting to do this. And I want it to be an interactive event, so questions and answers and so on. So I'm going to stop for a second. I'm just going to see who's here, and then we'll get started. Okay, it looks like we have Mike and Diane and Mark here. Can any of you guys talk? Is that possible? Do you have your phones muted, your computers muted, or can you speak? This is technically my first time joining a webinar, so I am still learning the technology of it. Bear with me. All right. Whew. Well, I'm not sure if I have you all in the right place. So since this is my first time and I'm an interactive kind of person, let me give you a little bit of background about me, and from there we'll see what questions you might want to ask. I did have you guys do a poll or a survey, and a few of you have said that what you'd like to learn most is about gaining new skills so that you can be more effective. I also heard client development. And so I wanted to kind of address both of those issues within the same framework. When your skills get higher, your clients will develop more readily because you'll have a higher referral base. But the other part of it is that when we're dealing with the medical community, we have to learn to speak in their language. In order to work with them and have them send us referrals in the holistic industry, we need to be able to speak with them. We need to be able to understand them. We need to be able to program develop with them so that when they send you a client who may have diabetes, who might be recovering from serious injury or illness, that they're assured that you're the person that can handle the work that they're giving you. And in order to give them that assurance, you need to learn how to speak their language. One of the biggest issues that I've heard from medical community, chiropractors and DOs and PTs, is that when they send somebody to train, they're coming back from an injury or they're coming back from an illness and they're sending them to train, that they don't really have a set community of trainers that are educated and trained in those kinds of rehabilitation. They're very good at what they do, especially for weight loss and in some cases even for some kind of functional movement. But they're not really clear on how to work with torn ligaments and tendons and weaknesses and strengths in the body that are caused by injury. And so that is a big part of what I wanted to teach in this class. We do have some more attendees who have shown up, which is awesome, and one request. And I have a call coming in from Mike, so hold on one second. Hey, Mike. Can you see me or hear me?
No, it's coming up saying that there's no audio or video.
That there's no audio or video, really?
Yeah, Diane on here, she said it's a picture or audio for anyone. If you could just that playback on other websites and be disabled by the video owner.
Huh, playback on other websites. My wife said yes, we can see and hear. But you are saying we cannot, but it's on the Chamber YouTube channel. I think my wife might have put it on a Chamber YouTube channel. So hold on a second. I'm glad I know everybody who's online. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mike. Hi, Diane. Hi, Angela. So this is some technical difficulty, but I'll get it straightened out in a second. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself and see if I can get this fixed. Okay. All right. Bye.
the video.
So I'm on. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry, I have my wife here to help with the technology.
Okay, go ahead and shut the camera now.
So I'm on. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry, I have my
Okay, that's muted. And so this should be, no, that's ready to go. Okay. And they can't hear you now?
Can you guys hear me now?
Because it's coming through on the channel. And they can't hear you now?
Can you guys hear me now?
It's coming through on the channel. Maybe I can send you this link so that they can watch you live here. And then you can post it in the channel.
I want to be able to interact with them.
Well, usually what you do, hold on just a second, is in the chat room, you click on this button, that one, and that actually invites them to be a speaker. There's people here requesting to be a speaker. Angela. So I don't know how to get up in the chat a little bit more, but I don't know why the volume's not working. It's working on the channel. I was going to email you this channel so you could put it in the chat room. But you're on, you're live.
All right. But nobody can hear me, so that doesn't help.
But we can hear you on the YouTube channel, so I wouldn't say nobody can hear you. I don't know what's going on with that.
Hello?
Yeah, any of those hand ones.
So what am I doing with them?
That just invites them to present. That kind of bypasses it.
Return as attendee.
Yeah, no, that.
Attendee.
Yep, see there's somebody else joining.
All right, somebody's able to join. That's awesome.
So I just sent you the thing for the YouTube. And it's live on YouTube, so it's going.
All right. Yeah, this is supposed to be there. Can anybody hear me now? All right. Well, I guess I'm live on somewhere. So if you can't hear me or see me in the Webinar Jam room, I apologize. Let me see if there's anything else I can do. Give you a different link. Looks like we've got somebody else coming in to speak now. Let's see. Mike is in here as a speaker. Mark. Let's see if I can put Mark in here. Well, chat is unmuted, and if you can't hear me, I'm going to see if I can do this another day with everybody, and I really apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll have to do another one of these. So anyway, so some of the questions, if you could just put it into the chat box, and then I'll answer them from there. But you know, questions that people have been asking about the Performance Therapy Academy and about what Level 1 and Level 2 does. And I'll just give you a brief introduction. We begin the class with an amazing assessment process that gets you both into intuition as well as into your knowledge. What I mean by that is that we give you a hands-on process. It's actually blindfolded, that develops an intuitive ability to feel what's happening within your client's body. And therefore, when somebody comes to you and they're looking for results, and you ask them a few questions and you see a few weaknesses, you might find out that there's an injury that that person has, or there's an illness that that person has that you need to address, and you need to train them, massage them, work with them differently than you would if you were coming into the situation with a perfectly healthy person who just has some compensatory issues as far as weaknesses on one side, because, like, say, left-handed versus right-handed. So this gives you an ability to do an assessment process that really gets down into a person's anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, and finds out exactly what's going on. I teach you some basics on how to read MRIs, how to read functional lab work, and so on. And the education that you get from that allows you to have a communication with a referring medical provider. And why is that so important for your business is because when you're going out networking and you say to somebody, I'm a personal trainer, and there's 50 other personal trainers, or I'm a massage therapist and there's 50 other massage therapists, what is going to distinguish you from the crowd? Everybody's got great hands and everybody's got referrals, right? Everybody's a great trainer and has people who have had benefit and worked out. But are you right for that person, or are you right for that special population? And what this allows you to do is have that kind of a communication within the medical community that allows those referrals to come in from them, building your client base and allowing you to charge a premium for what it is that you do, because what you're doing is medically sound. What you're doing has a benefit that is far greater than just the average right out of school trainer. You're giving somebody more knowledge. You're giving them a way to expedite their goal set. So instead of taking a year, it might take 6 months, and that has a great value for people. Within the medical community, they want results and they want them fast for their clients, because that's what makes them look good. And so if you can provide results for them, you're going to have people who are just flocking to you, creating a better business, a bigger business for you. So that's what we're looking for when we do this training. The assessment process at the beginning gets really into what makes that person in front of you tick, so that you can really serve them and get the results that you're looking for faster. Next processes are a set of exercise techniques that I've developed for both rehabilitation as well as training. They work for both parts of the industry. So when somebody has come to me, say a pro athlete with an injury, I've been able to work with them to not only take them out of that injury, but then train them to go on and become better than they thought they could be, especially after an injury. You hear it all the time. You know, go to get injured and doctor comes back and says, you're going to come back, but you'll be about 70% of where you were. You'll be about 80% where you were, but you're not going to be as good as you were. And through my entire career, I fought that theory, that philosophy that you would get injured and not be able to come back. I think you can come back. I think you can be a lot more than you thought you could be. You just need the right kind of trainer, the right kind of therapist to do that. And so this program is a upper body, lower body program that is designed to teach you these exercises and the philosophy behind the exercises, so that when you have a client coming in, you're going to have a much greater ability to support them. So you can support them through the injury, but also through the training. So imagine if all you were was post-injury trainer, how much business you might be losing from not doing the rehabilitation prior to, and then the training after, in which you've developed a core, you've developed a foundation, you've developed a set with them, and you're able to now obtain their goals with them faster. Sounds pretty cool. So that's like the first day. It's an almost 10-hour day. It's an intensive. This is a lot of information, but it's fun. You leave there energetic, feeling good, feeling ready to go. And the next day you come back and we run scenarios. We run programs. So the first module on that day, we're literally taking you from scenario A. Client comes in, has this set of issues, has this set of goals. How do we develop a program? For how long do we develop that program for? So program development, especially in the medical fitness industry, massage, wellness, health industry, is so important. Being able to say to somebody when they say to you, how long is this going to take? And having you be able to complete a program designed for them that has a huge value, that gives them a level of hope, that gives them a step-by-step guide and information and education. Now, all of a sudden, you've not just taken that client like a horse to water. You've taught them how to fish. You've given them the experience of fishing, and then you've given them the experience of what it tastes like to eat that fish when it's done. So you're really literally taking from ground A to ground B. And we get into program development where you get to actually do the program design and program development based on certain scenarios. And last but not least, we get into mindset. Mindset is a tricky thing. How do you get people to change? Good question, right? How do you get people's minds to shift? And in my experience, the only way to get somebody's mind to shift is to give them an experience that they can't deny happened. And what I mean by that is if you give somebody an experience that they can't deny happened, then it's very difficult to go back. You can't unlearn something. And so when you give somebody that experience in your practice, guess what your results are long term? You want to be one of those trainers who has somebody who every year comes in for 10 weeks and then leaves and, you know, all excited and happy with you, and then a year later they come back and they're further down than when they first came to you, and then the next year they come back? Or would you rather somebody who comes in, run through a program, you educate them, and they're shifted for life? And because now they're an example of what you can accomplish, their friends, their family are all going to be interested in what you have to offer. Doesn't that sound like a much better way of doing marketing and client development? I think so. So I wanted to have some Q&A with everybody, and I'm sorry that that's not able to happen on this particular webinar. So we'll have to come back. But, you know, on a Q&A level, what kind of questions would somebody have? I've had questions about the certification and how that process goes. So certification is a level 1 and a level 2, where you're going to earn continuing education credits for taking a certain amount of hours. So you're going to get a certificate of completion. Now, that certificate of completion is going to give you a basis of understanding, a mindset of understanding, and a philosophy that you can take to go build your practice as a medical program. So you'll have the skills at that point in order to do really basic what you do, but what you do better than you do it now. You're going to have, no matter if you're a PT, a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a personal trainer, you're going to learn something that you did not know before. And you're going to be able to implement that the next day in your business, because it's a very hands-on process. Hands-on wall lecture is, in my opinion, more active way of learning, so your retention is better and you can walk away with actual skills to use in that moment. The next part of that is we go into a 10-day intensive. And those are for people who want to become performance therapists, who want to use this style and this technique. They love it. They want to use it. And this is what's going to allow them to have that ability. They're going to become performance therapists. We're going to go through scenario after scenario, 8 to 10 hour days, running drills, running the classes. So we're literally going to take people through programs as though they're in front of us, as though they're our clients. And then we're going to evaluate each other and see how we did, make sure that everybody is skilled up to a point where they can actually implement program design and development with their clients. And if you want to actually become a master trainer at some point, which is what my goal is, I would love to have multiple people out there training in this system, being as a master trainer. And if you want to do that, then we do a 6-month internship process. Now, that 6-month internship process, literally we're looking at your clinicals. We're going through client development. We're helping you with your goals, but we're also tracking and making sure that you can deliver on what you're saying you can deliver. Because if you're going to teach the philosophy, we need to know that you're there doing it and that you're getting success at it. As you're building that success, by the way, you're building your revenue, you're building your credibility in the community, you're creating new levels of connection and colleagues, and you're being able to make a difference in your community that is second to none. One of my favorite things is making the medical doctors in the medical community my clients. And I'll tell you why that's important to me. If I can make them my clients and show them the results inside themselves, then what are they going to do with their clients and their patients? They're going to start professing this kind of philosophy, holistic, preventative, 360-degree point of view philosophy. And as we do that, as we make them our clients and then their patients our clients, guess what? Our credibility goes up, their credibility goes up, and the health of our country goes up, which is the most important thing in the first place. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of who I am, where I come from, and why I'm teaching this in the way I'm teaching it. I spent most of my childhood with medical conditions and as an athlete. And so as a martial artist, gymnast, baseball player, I played competitive tennis, long distance cycling. And doing that and having a medical condition that was undiagnosable stopped me from being able to perform in the manner in which I wanted to be able to perform. And so by the time I was 17 and a half years old, I had studied and studied and studied. I'd become a master herbalist. I went into a massage school. I ended up working with a professional sports team as an intern. And at some level, my career, I changed the style of what I was doing to match what I was seeing work with professional athletes. So I'd be working with the athletic trainers and the DOs and the surgeons and looking at the injuries that people were getting and watching the singularity of treatment. Meaning, if you went to a PT, they did one set of things. If you went to a chiropractor, they did one set of things. If you went to a massage therapist, it was one set of things. So whether it was joint or muscle or skeletal or nervous system, each of the people had a different set of skills. And I was lucky enough to train with all of them. So I was able to take in these modalities from all these amazing disciplines and combine them into a system that takes into account a 360 point of view, the kinetic chain, anatomy, physiology, how joints work, but also how somebody reacts. You know, we all have the same bodies pretty much, but we don't have the same bodies. So somebody who has a hormone imbalance reacts differently than somebody who has no hormone imbalance, or somebody who has low testosterone is reacting differently than somebody who has high testosterone, for instance, or thyroid conditions or diabetes. Their bodies react differently. Their medical, their chemistry reacts differently to training. So we have to learn to train for those different kinds of modalities. And so in my case, I never found somebody who knew how to train me. And so becoming a massage therapist, and then a sports therapist, and then an injury and rehabilitation specialist was my way of searching for my own healing. Eventually, I became a personal trainer, corrective exercise specialist, and then I also did hypnotherapy, specializing in sports hypnotherapy, because I was working with so many of these athletes, and one common thread was mindset. How do you get into the zone when you're injured and you're coming back? How do you get back to an elite level when in the back of your mind, all you're thinking about is, am I going to re-injure myself? Am I going to get worse? Am I going to end my career? When that's in the back of their mind, you got to be able to take them out of that. So part of me learning all of these different modalities was my way of wanting to be, I guess, an end-all be-all, a person who you could come to, and you didn't have to go to 30 other people. You didn't have to have disconnected care. And by disconnected care, I mean a PT is doing one thing, a chiropractor is doing another thing, and a massage therapist is doing another thing, and none of them are talking. And so the care that they're getting is disconnected from one another. And so in some cases, there's counteracting of benefit rather than mutually working together in order to accelerate the benefit and results. And so that is really about what I was trying to accomplish in myself, learning how to do this, because I had gone to all those different kinds of people. I had trained with all those different kinds of modalities. And I knew that in order to be effective, you need them all. And in order to be effective as a referral, you need to be able to speak the language of the people who do the other kinds of modalities. And so level 1 and 2 is it's an advanced, but it's a basic advanced class. And it gets you into that language, it gets you into that mindset, it gets you into a different philosophy, and it gets you a different set of skills that you can then take to your clients, to your referrals. Now, if you're not in the training business, if you're in pain management, or if you're in, let's say, a multi-level marketing company, or you're in some other form of health and wellness as a health coach, and you're giving advice to somebody, wouldn't it be awesome to have some of the skills of the people that you're giving advice for? So you might be telling somebody that they need a personal trainer or a nutritionist, and you might be their coach, but they might need some specialists. And wouldn't it be awesome if you had a network of specialists where you knew how to communicate with them, and you can send your clients to them, and you had a mutually beneficial relationship where you guys are getting awesome results together as a team. You're marketing together as a team. Now you're not in business alone anymore. Now you have a family. Now you have a community. Now you have colleagues that are allowing you to shine in your field so that they can shine in theirs. And you're mutually beneficial to each other. It's a cooperative way of working when you think about things in a 360-degree way, because all you're really caring about is how well is that person in front of you going to get. And so for me, this was really, this project to put together these courses and this academy was a project of love. It was a project of passion that was designed for me to get what I want, which is highly trained people to work on me, to work on my family, to work on my friends, to work on my neighbors, so that we all develop a healthy mind and a healthy body. And when we get injured, we have people and community that we could go to. So I hope this was informative, and I hope that the technical difficulty didn't frustrate you all too much, but I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys at the Performance Therapy Academy. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to share with me, and I really look forward to seeing you all soon. So thank you so much, and have a great night. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you.